Hey guys, my name is Nazar, and in this tutorial I'll show you how I create braid in Blender. I'm gonna start by creating a vertex in the center of the grid, in my case by merging all the cube's vertices. I'm gonna zoom in so I can see the grid more clearly and activate the snap to the grid. Now let's start building up a curve element, which will then make up the braid. I'm gonna extrude the first vertex by 3 squares up and 1 to the right, second 3 squares up, and the third 3 squares up and 1 to the left. Now I switch to the right view and move middle vertices in the opposite directions. Now let's duplicate it and then mirror it by checking all constraint axes. Don't forget to remove doubles. The next step is duplicating the curve and moving it 2 vertices up. Then I add the third one. So the basic element is done. Now I'm gonna add an array modifier which will determine the length of the braid. I'm gonna change the Z offset to 0.6 and activate the merge. Now I want to change the count to 5 and then apply the modifier. Now as you can see, the ends of the braid are uneven. In order to fix it, I'm gonna select the bottom vertices and separate them. Then move them up to the top and place them so they fit perfectly. Then I remove doubles. It's also pretty important to place the origin on the top of the braid. The next step is converting this mesh to curve by pressing Alt-C. Now I'm gonna add bevels so we can see the braid properly. Now I'm gonna select the bottom segments, then smooth them up and loosen them up like this. To make the braid look more natural, I'm gonna make the top section fuller and the ends thinner. Now I'm gonna create a shape key in case I wanna come back to the latest version, and form the shape of the braid by simply scaling. Now we need to fix the thickness of the curve. I'm gonna add the Bezier curve and rotate it 90 degrees. Then I'm gonna assign this curve as a taper object. Now we need to shape the curve so the thickness suited the braid. Next, I want to add more detail to the braid. I'm gonna do that by duplicating the braid and then decreasing the depth of the bevel. Now I'm gonna pull the segments out one by one. Try to keep it organically and randomly. Now if you want to add some sort of scrunchie, it's time to do that. When all of that is done, it's time to add another Bezier curve, which is going to control the whole braid. Make sure it has the same origin as a braid. I'm going to move the curve so it starts in its origin. In the object mode, I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Now in the edit mode, I need to make it the same length as a braid. Next I'm gonna add the curve modifier to the braid and assign the new curve as an object. Now we need to apply the same modifier to the other elements. The next step is applying the braid to a character. By selecting all the elements, I'm gonna move the braid and scale it so it fitted the hairstyle. Next I'm gonna create a shape key so I always have the chance to come back to the starting point. Then I'm gonna form the shape of the braid. If you want to tilt the curve, you gotta press Ctrl Z. And if you want to scale it, press Alt S. Now it's time to convert the braid into the particle system. For this you gotta install an add-on. It's free and it's called HairNet. I'm gonna duplicate the braid to another layer. Now I need to get rid of the bubble and apply the curve modifier. It's also important that the origins of the braid and the object you want to make hair on was in the center of the world space. Now I'm going to select the main braid first and then the head mesh. I'm going to go to the particle system and then to the hair net settings and click Add Hair from Curves. Next I need to go to the particle edit mode. Select the comb brush and click on the hair without moving it. If this is not done, all hair positions will be reset upon entering edit mode. The next step is the hair settings. I'm going to increase the number of steps and children. Activate the bis plane. Now I'm going to fix the radius. Next I need to activate the clump curve and make it similar to the taper curve we did before. There's also one thing to know about the add-on. If the root points of the hair aren't attached to the head mesh, when you're gonna add a new system, hair will be displaced. Therefore I'm gonna select the roots, activate the snap to the faces, and by pressing G, snap them to the head. Now, by following the same steps, I'm gonna make the thinner braid. So that I could see the settings better, I'm gonna change the color of the hair. I also like to change the kink to braid, which will divide the strands and give it more natural look. Thank you for watching, hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you have any questions or suggestions, let me know in the comments. Take care!